Yo, what's up, good people? What's good, world? I am Joe Henson,
I'm Prolly.
and we are Blight Love, and we welcome y'all, man. We welcome y'all to Lane Shit Different Day. This is the first official episode. We done did 10 testes episodes, just testing this shit out, man, and also to get some technical difficulties and equipment and little things we need on our end. But we welcome y'all, man. This is a positive podcast. This is a Blight podcast. Not saying that if you ain't Blight that you can't be part of this and enjoy this, but we just saying Blight because we Blight. How you feeling?
I feel good.
Me too, man. Me too. I've been waiting for this. Like, we done tried this, but it done been like some issues with this as far as audio and cameras and just all kind of shit, man. But that's how I go, man.
But it's been fun figuring it out.
Definitely, 100%. So yeah, y'all, welcome. Oh, and L.A.M E, this is brought to you by L.A.M E. Me and her, we have a company called L.A.M E that's living as me every day. And this is L.A.M E Shit Different Day. You did what I'm saying?
Podcast with a K.
Podcast with a K, cause them niggas are hard. You did what I'm saying? But if y'all see us doing some whatever type shit, just know that we got a dog right here, Bebop, and Bebop is a little he's a little bothersome sometimes. Like right now, he just want to be all up in our shit right now.
He hears something.
Yeah, let me slide over. All right, but anyway, y'all, shit, man, what we gonna get into? I guess the best way we can start this out is to start from the beginning, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So, with that said, man, life is funny, man. You know what I mean? Life is a trip. It's crazy because the whole while you're living, if you're not really spiritually in tune or just paying attention, you'll miss a lot of what God is telling you. You know what I'm saying? You tend to miss a lot when you just not really looking. You know what I mean? Because to be really real, them two eyes blind that third one if you ain't careful, right? So I say all that to say this, man. This is my life partner, man. This is my twin flame. Like we are two halves of one soul. And we hear about soulmates. I've heard about soulmates all my life. I really dove into soulmates, started learning about it in 2004? No, 2005. Working at Walmart. You know what I mean? And just coming across one of those little small, like little handheld little magazines, real thin that you get. And it was one about soulmates. And I read about all the different types of soulmates. It was like 7 of them. And I'm sure there was more, but in that book, it was just 7. And
you still got that book?
No, I've been looking for it. I might have it, but I got so much stuff, man, that's still boxed and all that. So it might be somewhere in the midst of all of that. But I have been looking for it. But but yeah, so that was my introduction to soulmates. And all my life, man, when I really sit down and think about it, all my life I wanted to have a soulmate. I wanted to know who my soulmates were. At first I thought soulmates were like your one true love, which that is a soulmate too, you know, your one true love. But there's so many, man. You got karmic soulmates. You got twin flames. You have one true love, which your twin flame can be your one true love, which is our case. You know what I mean? And it's many more, man. But it's interesting because we both do music. You know what I mean? We both are artists. We're a group called Blight Love with the underscore.
Make sure that underscore is there.
Matter of fact, make sure y'all go follow us, Blight Love, BLYKE underscore LOVE. You know what I mean? We follow Blight, man, and we got some dope music out. We got a video called Juneteenth every day we about to release. You know what I mean? We got some stuff on the way. But we both been passionate about music and loved music since we were kids, right?
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure neither one of us thought, and I'm speaking for her, even though I know I don't necessarily have to, but I feel like me and her in alignment on this, so I can say this. But, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we didn't expect music to lead us to our soulmate.
No,
I had no earthly idea that me choosing to rap at 12 years old was gonna lead me to the love of my life, my other half. I didn't even know I had a other half then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like the shit just crazy, right? So we want to take this time, man, since we gonna start from the tippy top. We want to take this time to take y'all all the way back to the origin of us, right? And hopefully y'all will see yourselves in this. And if you don't see you and your life partner in this, maybe your future life partner you'll see in this. Maybe when you find your life partner, you'll be like, damn, our shit was kind of like that too. Because I'm telling you, man, God order our steps and God move a lot of pieces on the board to make sure that you and yours connect, man.
And it's so subtle.
So subtle.
So subtle. You
God
won't
is
even
subtle.
realize that it's happening.
God is subtle. We think God is like this loud voice and this loud. We think when God talk that it's loud, but God is very subtle when God talk.
Maybe we think God loud because our egos are loud.
First bar of the episode.
Because the voice in your head can sometimes be loud and we can get them confused.
Yeah, that's the first bar of the episode right there. That's real. So, you want to start from the top? You want to start? I like when you start.
Where do I start?
I would say we got to start from childhood.
Okay.
Childhood.
So, all right. I have a cousin. Shout out to Mike Jones.
Oh shit, my bad.
Shout out to Mike Jones. When he was growing up, he had a best friend. Come to find out, his best friend is his older brother.
Shout out to Sean.
And I used to see his brother every now and then when I would go over to my cousin's house, but I never would run across him. And he's been over there, but we never seen each other. We didn't know about each other or nothing. And of course, my cousin is older, so I couldn't hang out with him. You know what I'm saying? I was a little girl and they finna go do teenage stuff. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't do anything. So, help me out now, help me. So time went on. Oh, let me retract. Okay. His older brother is also Sean J of Field Mob.
Legendary rap group from Albany, Georgia.
229.
Southern legendary rap group. Let me be clear. Southern legendary in my mind.
And I'm not sure how him and my cousin connected, but they also have a mutual love for music too. Mm-hmm. So they both rapped. So I know that was one way they connected. Mm-hmm. Okay. Fast forward. So now me and him are older. Still don't know each other. That wasn't even where I was supposed to have started. Let me go back. Our parents. So
Facts.
His mom and my stepmom grew up together. They were best friends. See how God worked stuff out before we even were thought of.
Yeah, man.
They were best friends growing up.
Yeah, man.
So
then your daddy and my daddy both worked at the same factory together.
Fast forward to that.
And my daddy is hella antisocial. Very loving dude, but very antisocial. But her daddy and my daddy was actually alright. I'm not gonna say they were friends, cause my daddy, till this day, I couldn't tell you one friend my daddy had, and I'm 35 years old. I couldn't tell you one friend, and I know he had some, but I don't know. But they were alright though. They were cool. Like her daddy was somebody that my daddy would speak to, sometimes at work. But my daddy is not the type that just finna for real just sit there and just talk to you like that. So that's interesting in itself too. That her stepmama and my mama was best friends, and then my daddy and her daddy actually worked together and was actually cool. You know what I mean? So now I think we go to Mike Jones from there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So after that, then the kids get involved. So that's when my cousin Mike and his brother are friends. So fast forward to now, our friends. We have mutual friends. So I have a friend who was my best friend at the time, Lala, aka Aaliyah Salou. She also we connected because we have a mutual love with music as well. So me and her was cool. And other friends that I went to middle school with, like LaGrieve, aka Chris Kenson, and Ghost, Caleb Shy, who are also two very dope producers. Very. And mind you, now I went to middle school with Lala as well. So fast forward to high school, I meet David Luke, who is a dope producer too.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to David.
And after high school, they actually formed a group called the Freedom Fighters.
Mm-hmm.
So that was David, some other mutual friends like Anthony 3 Brown, who I went to high school with as well. Dope MC.
Let me cut in right there. Ant, my homie Ant 3 Brown, he actually was the person who helped him and his brother Tony. Shout out to Tony B. They actually were the ones who got me on my first label, like 14 years old. And it wasn't like no big major label or nothing like that, but it was an Albany based label that this dude named Damo. Shout out to Damo, man. I thank you for believing in what I got, bro. Thank you for that. You don't understand what you did back then. But they actually introduced me to Damo, and that got me on my first label and actually allowed me to get my first insight on the music business, like how to do more than just rap and write. You know what I'm saying? And Ant was 9. You know what I mean? Like, I was there the day Ant lost his virginity. You know what I mean? Like, we were that close. Like, and then them was mine. Like, till this day, Ant and Tony, that's family to me. Like, for real family. I will always love them dudes. It ain't really, I can't really think of much they could do that would make me feel any different. But like, them brothers, right? So, and she went to school with Ant, and they was cool.
And I met him he was freestyling in the courtyard.
That
he was the only one I came to see.
He was
man. And he's still a beast.
Yeah, man.
But okay, so high school, we have all these mutual friends.
Mm-hmm.
After high school, I found out that Lila is a part of this group called the Freedom Fighters, who also had Cantrell, who is also a 229 representative.
Yeah, shout out to Cantrell.
So all of us was cool and all of that, and they did the Freedom Fighters, and I would ask her all the time, like, please, I want to come to the meeting, man. Like, I got to feel this energy because I love music so much and I know I can sing. And I was just like, I want to be around it so I can learn and just soak it in and get more of the feel of music, right? Twitter comes about. I find out about him.
Monte Carlo. I was going by Monte Carlo.
At the time, he was going by Monte Carlo. Mind you, now, I'm just a fan. I'm just like, man, this man dope. Like, these boys and this woman right here, they doing their thing. Like, I was such a fan. So he dropped a song called The Cage Bird. Cage Bird sings?
No,
Cage Bird.
The Cage Bird.
The Cage Bird. I was right. Okay. The Cage Bird. And they was pushing it heavy on Twitter, and I was like, oh, I was excited, boy. So I changed my default picture like everyone else, sharing every time I seen somebody share, I shared it too, just being because I would want somebody to do that for me. So I was doing it. I wasn't even doing it for him to even notice me. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, these boy dope, they need to be heard. So as time goes on, I'm growing as a fan for them and this, that, and the next. And during this time, Lila was getting shows and she was performing, and I would do backup for her every now and then. This is when I actually met him. Officially met him.
First time. I didn't even know she existed until this show.
But I knew who he was. And I met him, and he was filming. We did a block party for Albany State University. It was homecoming, and we did a block party. And shout out to everybody that loved our performance, because they said our performance was the best one. We worked hard.
Y'all actually was, from what I saw, though. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all really
And we wasn't even the paid performers.
Y'all really was.
We was the openers. But shout out to that. That was a dope experience for me. So shout out to Lila for actually wanting me to be a part of that and including me in that. So after that, in social media, we become friends on Facebook, and he started talking about whatever he called TJ Maxx at the time. I didn't know what TJ Maxx was, and no, I'm not talking about the store. So do you want to explain?
Of course I do. Okay, right. So I partake in the pornage, and at that time, man, it was a porn star named Charlie Chase, man. Charlie Chase. She was a Latino porn star, man, and her fellatio was amazing, right? It was an art. It was a work of art. And it was very nasty though, and like sloppy. You just spit everywhere and shit, right? And this sounds so nasty. But anyway, it's good nasty to me. But anyway, so she fellatio game on point. So anyway, I came up with this term for the fluids that her throat would generate when she would give fellatio. And the name of it was TJ Maxx, which means throat juice maximum. Cause it was literally in my brain, that was like you couldn't have any more throat juice in your throat. Like it just crazy. It's one of them things where you knew like when they say cut, like it's a puddle there, bro. You got a lot of shit to wipe up. But we ended up having a conversation on Facebook about that. Because I don't know, I'm a dumb nigga. I know I post a lot of like, if you know me on Facebook or just know me at all, like I talk about God, I talk about all kind of like deep shit. I'm a thought-provoking type person. But behind all of that or under all of that, wherever you want to look at, I'm an idiot, man. I'm an idiot. I'm one of them niggas like I love to laugh. I like to joke. I really love to joke. And I don't know, I got a weird sense of humor. And I live out loud, so I posted about throat juice maximum. That shit was funny to me. I told the world about TJ Maxx and her, and I want to say about 2 or 3 more people that I know commented, and we just had this like long, funny ass conversation, man.
I was so curious because I had seen him talk about it so much. He had made at least about 3 different posts, and I was like, you know what? I don't know what this man talking about. I'm finna ask. So I got in and I asked, and he told me, and I kid you not, that was one of the funniest conversations that I have had on Facebook. So, time goes on.
Oh, man.
And
that is funny.
During this time, so now we're kind of a little bit more acquainted. We still don't know each other, but we know each other enough to, we know our faces, you know what I'm saying? So when we see each other, like, hey, how you doing? So, around this time, we were both unemployed. I was taking care of my grandma, and I actually, since it was kind of hard for me to do it because it drained me in every way possible, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Like I was out of it to the point where I didn't know what to do. I would pray, and it just seemed like God wasn't talking. I couldn't sleep, and I saw that he talked about God a lot. And I know we were close in age. So I was like, because everybody I talked to really didn't have, even my closest friends and family really didn't know what to tell me. They couldn't help me in any form or fashion. So I reached out to him, and I reached out to him on Twitter. I hit him up in the DM and I asked him, how do you keep your faith? Like, how do you manage to still have faith during all of this that's going on in our lives or whatever? Mind you, now, I don't know what was going on in his life. I just knew he really practiced strong faith, and I was struggling, so I needed help. So he talked to me. I realized like he was somebody I could talk to and be open with about it. And that's how our friendship started. Even during the time I was taking care of my grandma, after that conversation, which made me really be like, yeah, he's somebody I can fuck with. Just randomly one night, I was actually in the hospital. I was spending the night at the hospital with my grandma, and just randomly he sent me a text and was like, hey, how your grandma doing? Everything all right? And I was, mind you now, he didn't have to. He didn't really know me. But he thought enough of me in that moment to just be like, let me check up on her real quick. Like, and that mattered to me so much, y'all. It still matter. Like, I will always remember that. I don't care if we stop talking today. Like, he gonna be my nigga for that reason. Like, simply off of that. But,
cause little shit matter. You know what I mean? Like, little shit matter, man. Like, a lot of times I don't mean to cut you off, my bad.
No, you all right.
But a lot of times we think like people have to do like this big glamorous shit or just whatever in order to show that they good people or that they love us or caring or whatever. But it be the small shit, man. Ain't nothing in the world bigger than the small shit. You know what I mean? Like, and for me, what made me send that text, other than God putting that in my spirit, because I really feel like God put that in my spirit. But other than that, though, it was just like, I just could imagine, just from our conversations, I could just try to imagine in my mind, like, how that was for her. You know what I mean? And I try to treat people how I want to be treated. That's a code that I done lived by most of my life. Like, I try to treat, even before I knew that was in the Bible, I just had that philosophy in my mind. Like, do people how, because I grew up going through a lot of shit. I grew up dealing with, like, a lot of the uglies that come from civilization in the world and society, like from school to like teachers, students, like friends. I dealt with I've seen the ugly side of humanity from a child. So that kind of like molded me in a way where I didn't want nobody to feel how I felt. I didn't want nobody to experience the things that I had experienced. You know what I mean? Which is partially why I am how I am as far as like laughing and joking so much, because I didn't cry so much. I didn't hurt so much. So like the way I am, I'm the type of person, anything bad, I'm going to make it a positive. And despite all the bad, I'm going to still find a reason to smile and laugh. And I probably should thank Tupac for that, because he also said, like, through all the bullshit, you just got to know how to smile, man. You got to know how to smile through the bullshit. And that stuck with me as a kid. You know what I mean? So I have all my sense of humor and shit, but I really deeply connect with people and feel compassion for people, because I know what hurt feel like on every level. So I could imagine what she might have been feeling and going through. And I thought to myself, like, shit, to deal with me, I would want somebody to check up on me. I don't know what her friends do. I don't know what her family, I don't know her people like that. But I know for me, since this is somebody I've come across and somebody that I see and can sense is a good person, like, let me check on her, man, and just make sure she's straight and make sure her grandmama's straight. Because I could easily tell from the few conversations we had that her grandmama was like, they was like this.
Yeah,
and she meant a lot to her.
That's my nigga.
So I don't know, man. God just put that in my spirit to ask. You know what I mean? And I want to say this too real quick, just to kind of go back. Her friend Lila, I met Lila on Facebook. Like, and it's crazy because
I never knew that.
Yeah, I met Lila on Facebook. Lila, I don't know exactly when we became friends on Facebook, but I was putting songs out in like these little videos of songs, like whether they were slideshow videos or maybe me freestyling. And Lila started commenting, just seems like out of the blue, started commenting on them, and we built a relationship talking about music, which is how she got on the freedom, like became part of the Freedom Fighters.
That's how me and her got
because we talked about music so much when we started doing the Freedom Fighters. She was one of the first people that I thought about as far as like reaching out and seeing that she would want to be a part of it, and she ended up being a part of it. And you know,
I wanted to be a part of it so bad.
The rest is history.
But it wasn't for me to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So, shortly after that text he sent me, maybe like a month or two later, my grandma passed. And actually, no. Let me rewind. I think you might have texted me maybe like in October. And in November is when I came over. Like, he hit me up and was like, because he had heard that I sing through mutual friends. And
I found out that you sung from Lila and some other people too that I know. But then we ended up having a conversation on Twitter about me and you like getting up and working on some shit. And it started as a post. Like, I don't remember the post, but it started as us just tweeting each other like openly and publicly. And then I gave you either my phone number or my address, or maybe both. More than likely both.
Yeah.
And you came through, and the first song you recorded was Like the Sun.
Now.
Like the Sun.
Like the Sun. This was in November when I came over, and November was a tough month because this was closer to the time my grandma was going to be leaving. And this was closer to around the time when the doctors was like, there's nothing else we really could do. So I was trying to stay encouraged myself and also uplift my grandma. So this song, I felt it very deeply because that's really where I was at. And I didn't even write really as an artist. But he asked me. He had stepped outside because he had a homegirl come over, and they was finna smoke or whatever, and I don't smoke. So I stayed in. He asked me, let me see what you could write. So I was like, I was nervous. I'm like, man, I ain't know. Why ain't you? Like, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, I'll try. So I tried it, and I was so nervous. I don't know. I know you had to know because I don't hide my nervousness well. But I was so nervous. But I read it to him, and it kind of was in alignment with what he already had. We went with what he had, though, because I didn't really have it structured yet. And honestly, we couldn't take all night trying to figure out what to write. But it came out perfect. But I really felt what it was, like, so deeply because of what I was going through with my grandma. And
you thinking about the light that blinds?
But it's both of them.
I had that hook for Light the Sun before you came.
Oh wait, yeah.
You thinking about the light that blinds, the one that because that was the one that
I
was
the
just
second
like, see
song.
what you come up. Yeah,
that was the second song.
The Light the Sun, I already had that.
Never mind, scratch that. But I did both of them songs roughly around the same time, and I was still in the same place. So my grandma passed in December, and we still was working. We were still working on music, and even those sessions was like for me therapeutic. Although honestly, I was there to work, but I had a lot to get off my chest, unfortunately, and I did take up a lot of time in the recording sessions. But what we got out of them was dope. So, where I go from there?
Well, after we did Light the Sun, which was the first song we recorded, we basically we just started working. We just started she started coming over more. At this time I was living at my mama's house because I had lost my job and my apartment.
We were unemployed.
Prior to that. 2012, for the most part, the Freedom Fighters disbanded. It was just 3 of us left. And really, it was me that left. I left. I was the first one to pull the plug on it. And when I pulled the plug on it, everything else kind of just tore apart. And it was just me, David Luke, and Steve Cantrell who were part of the group.
I forgot to mention Adam Inyang, Juice.
Yeah, shout out to Juice.
He was a part of that too. My bad, bro.
I mean, technically, it was a lot of.
We had a lot of mutual friends.
Like, you know what I mean? But
it was just y'all 3.
Yeah, I remember. But so it was me, Steve, and David that was in the group, and I had changed my name in 2013 from Monte Carlo to Joe Henson, and I was working on an album called L.A.M.E, which is actually currently available right now on all platforms. Y'all go ahead and check that out. That Joe Henson with 3s, not E's, JO3 space H3NSON. Thank you, and you're welcome. But yeah, so I started working on a project. I didn't know it was gonna be L.A.M.E at the time. I was kind of battling between 3 different album concepts, but I knew it was gonna be an album. I was in album mode because I was going through shit too. She was going through shit with her grandmama, and I was going through shit just as a me personally, but also with my family, and also with the group, and also with my friends, and also with my current relate. My whole life was crumbling down. My shit with 9/11. So I was in album mode. I didn't know exactly what album what I was gonna call it, but I had like 3 different concepts and ideas for it. But I knew I was locked in though. And she came through. I want to say you came through about 3 or 4 times before I moved, and me and Arvon moved into the house on Whitney. I think you came about 3 or 4 times.
Maybe about 4.
About 4, yeah. And we just were working, man. But like she said, when we would do these sessions and she would come through, we would talk for hours. Like, we would talk for a while, like at least a good hour and a half. You know what I mean?
We both had a lot to talk about. Well, I know I had a lot because I was going
really
through. Well, yeah, I was going through some stuff, man, and I ain't had nobody to talk to. And it wasn't just my grandma. It was like you said, friends. I had lost the only job I had. Well, I didn't lose it; they closed. So it wasn't nothing I could do about that. And then since it closed, I had to take on the job of taking care of my grandma, and I didn't have nobody really to confide in during this time but myself and God, and I felt like God wasn't hearing me, but he was. So,
and that's crazy how that works. We be thinking God don't hear us, but God really always hear us. God hear us before we speak. You know what I mean? Like God know your mind, your spirit. God know everything about us. So it's like, it's crazy that we be thinking we ain't heard, but a lot of times it's them two eyes. It's these two motherfuckers right here that make us think God don't hear us. But in our actuality, God knew what was up before you even thought it, before you even said it, before you even felt it, before it was conscious to you, it was already conscious to God. But yeah, man, we would have these conversations, man, these dope in-depth conversations, and we really was getting to know each other. You know what I mean? Without knowing it. Without knowing it, we was really getting to know each other on a deeper level. So fast forward, her grandma passed. Her grandmama passed in December. Mm-hmm. Her grandmama passed in December, and in February, I moved from my mama house with my oldest brother, Arvon. Shout out to Arvon. And we got a house on Whitney. And when we got our house on Whitney, that's when I really started locking in with the album, because I went at my mama house no more. You know what I mean? And for anybody who heard the album and heard Boxing with God, the part where my mama talking, that was at my mama house. That was around the same time she talking about. You can hear me crying and shit, because I was going through it, man. Like, I was going through it, bro. And I encourage y'all to listen to that, man. That's a dope ass song. Like, I ain't
That's
just saying
a dope
that.
album.
I'm not saying that because it's mine, because God knows, but I'll tell you some shit trash if it's mine. I just ain't capable of making trash no more. But I do make shit that I just like, that ain't it, Carlo. But Boxing with God, though, it's a real ass song. But
I helped him and his brother and his mama move.
Yep.
I helped
her move, and she was the last person. Like, first of all, just like she say the phone calls, the text, and asking her if her grandmama was straight, just like that was like, okay, I fuck with this nigga. This was my thing. This was my version of that. Me and my oldest brother had to move, but my mama had to move too. So my brother's stuff is in the house, my stuff in the house, and all my mama's stuff in the house. And my mama a slit hoarder. She won't ever admit it, but she is a slit hoarder. So we was pretty much moving damn near, I don't want to say 3 households worth of stuff, but 3 different grown people who have accumulated a lot of things from being grown and living on their own. We had to move all this stuff at the same time. Me and Arvon moving was easy because both of us had lost most of our stuff. My mama, however, being a hoarder, and all her shit big as fuck, because everything she got from the 80s and the 90s. So everything big as fucking bulky as hell. So,
and she had been living there for years.
That was a hard ass move. But Kaya had said, because I didn't know, man. I don't never have a lot of friends at one time. Like, I always have like a small group of people I deal with at every phase of my life. I ain't never been that dude who just got like 20, 15 people that I fuck with heavy. So, I ain't really had nobody to call. So I called a few of my friends that I knew would, had the heart that would be willing to help. And I hit her up. And she said she could help till about like 2 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock, something like that. Man, she ended up staying till like 2 in the morning. Because she said I could help till like the afternoon, basically. And I noticed like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock got there. And I was just like, all right. She ain't gone yet. She ain't told me nothing. So I asked, I was like, shit, you straight? You ain't got to leave? You ain't got to go? And she was like, no, I'm good. So I'm like, okay, cool. 7 o'clock came. 8 o'clock came. 10 o'clock came. 12 o'clock came. And I'm soaking this up now because I'm the type of person, man, I realize nobody has to do nothing for us. My mama gave birth to me and still don't have to do shit for me. She could have easily been on some Brenda's baby shit with me. She didn't have to keep me. She didn't have to have me. She didn't have to clothe me. She didn't have to nurse me and nurture me. She didn't have to do that. There's nothing in the book of life that said she had to do that. So I don't take shit for granted, man. So for her to tell me at first, like, I can help up to this time, and then to stay 12 hours after that, I just like, yeah, man, I fuck with you. Like, cause that's something I would have did. And in my life, people don't really do for me what I would do for them. Like, that shit is very rare for me in my life. So that right there, man, like, man, I thank you for that. Like, cause you showed me some shit with that. Like, you showed me some shit. Like, I'm a character person. And she showed me a lot of character by doing that because it was selfless. And I didn't pay them. I didn't have no money to pay them. You know what I'm saying? So,
Man,
thank you.
look.
I know I done said thank you already, but I don't know.
It was a lot of stuff that needed to be moved.
Man.
I understood it was time sensitive.
Man.
And more hands can get it done. And we literally had just did the same thing at my grandma's house. Moving all of that stuff. You know, I mean, well, not everything, because her husband was still there. But when we was trying to get her situated, because she was on dialysis. So she was going to try to do dialysis at home. So we was trying to get her house in order to do it at home. So I understood seeing all of this stuff and trying to get rid of stuff that she don't want to get rid of, which is his mama. She didn't want to get rid of a lot of her stuff. So I understood, you know what I'm saying? Look, man, I can help. I got you.
And this is my thing to all y'all hoarding parents out there, man. If you got people moving you, and I understand that, you know, this stuff is your stuff. I get it. I 100% get it. But to some extent, if you not paying these people, because I had people that ain't related to us helping. So it's like these people are putting their body through hell to move a big ass TV that don't work. It does not work, mama. And my mama still don't understand that. But I'm like, man,
she don't have it anymore though, by the way.
But I had to fight her for that though, because she ain't thinking about the wear and tear and the risk we put in our bodies at. Because I mean, man, that TV was big as hell, man.
It was.
You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing is, it was one of them things where it's like we still moved the TV and got it in her house, and then months after her being in her house, she decided, I want to throw the TV out. I can't explain to you how the little red man in my head was like, had steam coming out of his ears and shit. Like, that little nigga was mad as hell in my head.
My mama do it too.
But, you know, I don't know. It's just, it's a certain level of consideration though, because you got to think, like, if you're not physically able to help and this limited help and it's all this stuff, we only human. So parents, just hear your kids out sometime and learn that a part of life is letting some stuff go. But shout out to my mom, man. I love my mama, man. That my nigga.
Yeah.
But yeah though. So okay. So we got through with the move. Like I said, she was the last person. The last run I made from my mama house to our house, she was with me doing it. And that shit meant a lot to me. So fast forward, me and my brother living on Whitney. And we working on the album. By this time, I got a good idea of what album I'm working on. So we just recording songs, knocking out songs. She'll come through. She started coming through regularly. Her and my homie Jamiko. Shout out to my brother Jamiko. Shout out to my nigga Jamiko, man. And I remember telling everybody that helped us move, give me like a week and I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something for y'all. I told them I'm going to do something for y'all. I don't know what or how, but I'm going to do something for y'all. And I ended up just like buying some pizzas and stuff. Like,
I had a bottle of gin left over.
Yeah, like we just ended up kind of like having a party. Like it was a celebration party, but at the same time too, I just wanted, I don't know, at that time I ain't just had a bread like that because we literally just got through moving, so we had bought furniture and it's just all kind of shit we was doing. So I ain't just had a money like that, but the little money I had at that time, I wanted to show my appreciation. So I threw this little get together only for the people who helped, and she came, and we had a good ass time that night. But Lila said some shit that night that kind of flipped the switch, because up until that point we was just really just cool. We was cool. We wasn't like friends, but we was cool as fuck though. And I didn't see her like that, and I don't think she saw me like that. You know what I mean? It was just, damn, this is a cool dude. This is a cool chick. You know what I mean? And we working on music. We both feel like we talented. We respect each other, creativity and talent, and we was just connected on that level. But Lila, being Lila,
saw that I was a little tipsy.
Yeah, and she said something. I don't even remember the exact thing she said, but I just know it had to involve sex and me and her, like me and Kaya on a romantic level. And in my mind, I remember thinking like, I mean, she could get it now. You know what I mean? She can get it now, but you know what I mean? But I wouldn't, it was really a joke. You know what I mean? It was a joke.
She was messing with us, man.
But the thing is, though, subconsciously, what that ended up doing is planting a seed. And then I also remember, like, not too long after that, Jamiko said something to me like, "Hey, man, that's a good girl right there, Carlo. Like, I could see y'all. Like, I could see y'all, like, together." And that was another seed that was planted.
And then on my end, my best friend, I call him Junior, but
shout out to
Daryl,
Junior, man, Mr. Fresh.
He's actually also our manager too.
Yeah, man.
Me and him would talk every now and then on the phone, and I would tell him about like our sessions and stuff, and he'll be like, "Why you won't talk to him?" And I'm just like, "Nah, man, we just friends or whatever." And he was like, "But you talk about it all the time, Kaya." Like, and I'm like, "Just 'cause it's fun." He was like, "Nah, you might want
a little more to it than
him
that.
And my cousin Tiaja." But it's strange how things like that happen, because he had his friend Jamiko tell him on their own conversation, personal side conversation to themselves on a whole nother day, and I had mine on a whole nother day with my friend and my cousin. So it's just strange that those seeds was planted and we didn't know that was going on. So time went on. We still working on music, and we still getting to know each other, and we're still friends. You know what I'm saying? Still don't think of each other like that. We just kicking it and having a good time recording. And
I did recognize by that point, though, I was like, this is a very pretty woman. I did recognize that. And I it's crazy because I don't remember exactly what we was talking about. I just remember me, you, and Jamiko was in my room where we was doing the recordings at that time. And I remember you laughing because we was laughing. Jamiko probably said some stupid
more
shit.
than likely.
My nigga Jamiko's stupid, man. But more than likely, me and him was joking, or he might have just said some stupid shit, and we was in there laughing. But I remember, I'm a person, like, I love a smile. Like, smile, that's a woman's smile is the prettiest, sexiest thing in the world to me. Actually, the mind is the sexiest thing to me. But the prettiest thing to me is a woman's smile. If you got a nice, a pretty smile, like, that's a major plus for me.
I agree with that with a man, too, because that's what started it for me with, when I recognized you was attractive was when we was at L.A.M.E and I had to do backup and you smiled and I was like, oh, okay. And then we had went out to eat at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yep.
And I sat next to you, and that's when I realized, like, okay, we both unemployed. Like, hey, like, you good? Like, we having that conversation. Like, nah, this what I'm gonna get. You gonna get? I'm like, yeah, I might get this. We sat beside each other.
And that was, it just be so crazy, man, how God do this. Because even then, it was that time at Ruby Tuesdays.
I sat by you then.
Sat by me then. And I was not feeling that shit that day.
And I kept messing with him because I knew he was in a bad space. And I'm like, you not finna sit by me and be in your phone and not engaging, nigga. What you doing?
I don't even remember who birthday party it was. But it was
Lila.
It was Lila's birthday party.
Wait a minute. I'm finna fuss. Lila. This was supposed to be a girls' night out between me and two other friends with you, but you turned it into something more. But I ain't mad at it because I got my man, so I love you. But
yeah, man. So yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings, and Buffalo Wild Wings was when I realized, like, okay, she think I'm attractive. He
got a nice smiling dog and chocolate and pretty.
She recognized the sexy. I realized that she recognized the sexy then. I realized that the dark chocolate had done its deed. And it was just crazy because fast forward, you know what I mean? Back to what I was talking about at the studio, or at the house, me and her and Jamiko in there laughing and joking. And I'm just like, damn, this girl got a beautiful smile. And then I just started seeing her a little different. You know what I mean?
I wonder, was that when he said it's gonna be a long road?
No, that was that was on Whitney when he first said that, wasn't it? It might have been that night. That might have been the night. Because that nigga Jamiko was high as fuck, man, and that nigga could not. He was struggling.
He couldn't get it together.
Struggling to record, man. He was too far up there. But so okay. Fast forward. What happened with that? What happened next? Damn, what did happen next?
One night we were recording. It was a night that Caleb came over,
And we was working
and
on
we was
disarray.
working on disarray, and
Yup.
I couldn't get the recording right like how I wanted,
Mm-hmm.
and Caleb got a little impatient.
Yeah. Yeah.
But eventually, he had to go home because he had to go to work the next morning.
Mm-hmm.
And
Jamiko
but
went home because Jamiko was there too. He ended up.
yeah,
going
he
home.
was there,
He ended
and
up
it
going
was
home.
it just wound up being me and Carlo. I call him Carlo, but me and Joe, and we just talked. We talked all night until 8 in the morning.
Yep.
Just talking, just in his room, talking.
Sitting at the foot of the bed. And see, mind you now, I got 2 older brothers. And my oldest brother is a cleeper. He a cleeper. And if you don't know what a cleeper is, watch Pootie Tang. You're still not going to know what a cleeper is. But just know, cleepers get it in. Right? So I come from the school of, if a woman is at your house after 11 o'clock p.m., anything after 11 o'clock, it can go down.
Them Cleeper hours.
Them Cleeper hours. Them are the hours where it can go down, right? But I ain't that type of dude though. But that law was still in my mind. So, but I'm the type of dude also, and I've always been this type of way. If me and a woman have sex for the first time, it's gonna always be her call. That's how I was. Kaya the only person that I actually like pursued. You know what I mean? Not even just sexually, just period. Because I told her that morning at 8 in the morning, like when she left.
Before I left.
Not before you left. After you left.
Yeah.
Like when she pulled off, I just was thinking about the whole night. And I just was like, this shit crazy, man. We just sat up here and talked all night. Not one sexual thing was said. It wasn't no sexual energy in the room.
It wasn't even no physical touch or nothing.
Nothing. We was sitting like this damn near. You know what I mean? But just at the foot of the bed, just talking. And I don't know, man. I'm one of them dudes where conversation, like, again, like I say, the sexiest thing about a female to me is her mind. Like, if a woman got her mind together, like, that shit is sexy to me. So, and I loved her heart. Like, she had already shown me that she got a good heart and a good spirit and that she's selfless. She had already shown me that she a good person. And then when we have great conversations, and we still have great conversations, but that particular conversation really let me know, like, yeah, man, I think I really, really like this girl. So when she pulled off, I thought to myself, because I ain't never been a dude to holler at girls. That ain't never, well, holler at women or girls when I was younger. Like, I've always been shy with that. I ain't never felt confident about that. You know what I mean? And then as I got older and my confidence grew, I still just didn't do it because I didn't see nothing worth pursuing, to be all the way real.
Mind you now, I knew he was intrigued right before I got in the car.
Yep.
I just looked at him. I was like, and I had to thought to myself, he's intrigued. But
Nah.
I know he had on a tank top. And I noticed his arms too that morning. I'm like, oh, let me take my ass home. Like, got in that car quick.
So when she pulled off and I thought about it for a little bit, I sent her a text. I screenshotted that text. I still got that text. You know what I mean? Like,
I wish I still had mine.
I still got that text. I mean, I can screenshot it to you. I mean, I can send you the screenshot, but I still got that text, right? And this was March 15th, 2014. And I told her, like, I think I'm interested in you. I think I like you. I said something to that
interested.
nature. I said interested. Yeah, interested. And she sent that the LOL and all of that, and we had another little brief conversation about that, and she started coming over a little more because I was just like, shit, let's just come on. It ain't got to be for no music, man. Let's just come through and chill, get to know each other. You know what I mean?
Mind you now, I almost missed my opportunity. I prayed to God for a man like him, and I almost let it go by.
Yeah.
Because he asked me twice.
Yeah.
And I was nervous to go over. And I'm like, why am I nervous? And I done been over here already.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he was like, all right, I only asked 3 times. This is your second time. So by that second time, I said, okay.
I said that. I don't even remember saying that.
It was something similar.
I don't remember.
It was something
that.
real close to that.
I am a 3-strike person.
And
so
you told, you let it be known, like, hey, this my second time asking, man. You, all right.
I remember saying, I know I do remember saying something to the effect of like being scared. Like, I'm like,
yeah, you did say,
like, you ain't gotta be scared.
And he tried to,
he
did that. He did do that too.
Like you can come over here and chill. Like,
so
we ain't gotta record every time we see each other.
I did take him up on his offer though, because I had to come to myself like, all right, just go for it, man.
And all we did was just chill. We chilled and watched movies. I think we watched like a Jason movie one night.
Jason versus Freddy.
And we watched, I want to say we watched something else too. Oh, Black Dynamite. That was one of the ones we watched.
We did?
Yep. Black Dynamite in the living room. Yep. That was one of the ones we watched too. And we were just chilling, man. And so once she's a Cancer. So once she felt comfortable, you know what I mean? To like on that level come around just on some, not necessarily music, but just like, okay, I'm getting to know him because he's interested in like dating me type tip. When she got comfortable with that, we just started kicking it a little more, man. And everything just kind of blossomed from there. You know what I mean? And fast forward, June 15th, 2014, we officially been a couple since then. And I remember we went on our first date. I don't remember the date of our first date, but I just remember like I ain't never had no date like that before. First of all, I ain't just the most dating dude in the world, because
either.
I don't just give my energy like that. And if I'm sitting at a table, first of all, women be expecting a man to pay for everything, and I'm a charitable person, but I ain't just paying for everybody's food. So
and I don't go on no dates expecting nobody to pay for food and stuff. So I came prepared. Oh,
and it was the first date we got caught.
The first date. This is how our first date went. We made the plans and we was like, okay, we're gonna go to the movies. Mm-hmm. We went to go see Spider-Man, and it was the one with Jamie Foxx in it.
Yep. Terrible Spider-Man movie to me.
And we enjoyed the movie, although we really just enjoyed each other. Mm-hmm. But before we went to the movies, we went to the dam, and that's where we got caught in the rain. But before that, this is what we did. This is the order. I had coupons. I had coupons for Burger King.
Yep.
So it was like, all right, we can eat good, but we finna eat cheap, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was okay with it. Had a coupon. We used the coupons. We went to, in Albany, we had an art park before they built the Pretoria Fields Brewery there. Yeah. But we had an art park, which was so dope, where a lot of graffiti artists came and showcased their art. So we went and ate our Burger King there, and we had dope conversation there. Went to the dam to kill some more time, and because I've never been to the dam, so he showed me a dope spot where he liked to go kick it at. Went to the dam. It started raining on us. We took off running, and it shocked him because I was able to keep up.
What you talking about?
I was able to keep up, and I was like, look, man, I'm cute today. I'm trying to stay cute. And we finna go in the movies, and it be cold in there, and I don't have a jacket. Let's go.
She was hauling ass in them Sperry's.
But my toes are balled up, trying to make sure they don't fall off. Boy, I was gone, boy.
We got caught in the rain on some movie shit, man. That shit is hilarious.
But that's one of the best memories that we have. Mm-hmm. Went to the movies, enjoyed the movies, and I don't remember what we did after. I think we probably just went back to the house and kicked it.
Yeah, we just kicked it. No pressure.
And that was our first date. And I would do that again. Hell, let's do that this year.
And it's crazy, right? Because one reason that this episode is so special, especially for it being like the first official episode, and this is going to be the first one we put on YouTube. Like, today is Friday, right? Friday afternoon. It's going to be 1:00 to be exact. Our anniversary Monday. You know what I'm saying? Like, our anniversary 6/15, June 15th is Monday. So it's just the timing of this is perfect. And that's also why we wanted to tell our story. Because I don't know, man, we hear so much and see so much online about baby mama drama and dudes running out on the kids and child support and domestic violence and just all this stuff, man. It's almost like love get lost in the midst of all the bullshit.
Yeah.
So like, we wanted to give some inspiration and some hope, man, to all the hopeless romantics out there. I'm a hopeless romantic. I'm a person who love. You know what I mean? I know that might not be cool as a dude, but I am definitely a dude that's in touch with his feminine energy. Like
Love feels amazing.
I am a balanced guy when it comes to my masculine and my feminine shit, right? So I love love, dog. Like I love love. Like that has always been something I loved. And I didn't come from a background of that. You know what I mean? I don't have no memories of seeing my daddy do like super sweet shit with my mama. Now I do know that he did stuff for my mama, but I have no recollection of my daddy walking up behind my mama and putting his arms around her and kissing her on the cheek or ever even kissing her. I can't even recall him saying I love you. And I'm not saying he didn't, but I don't have a recollection of this stuff.
And my mom and dad got divorced when I was 1. So I definitely don't have any recollection of any of that. You know what I'm saying? So the closest that I've gotten was my granddaddy. And I know my dad. I love my dad. My daddy is still here too. But as far as being in the household, I didn't get those experiences. You know what I'm saying? So it means a lot to me to have these experiences with him. You know what I'm saying? And especially somebody that I truly do love and he truly loves me. So that's a blessing in itself. And I'm very appreciative of it because like I said, I prayed for this and I almost let it go by.
I prayed for her too. And I think we prayed for each other around the same time. The same time frame. Cause again, 2013, that was the hardest year for her and the hardest year for me.
Yeah.
We both was like, our faith was tested like a motherfucker. When she hit me on Twitter asking me about faith, I was barely holding on to mine.
Look,
you know
we held each other's hand without even physically holding each other's hand.
And without knowing it. So it's just crazy, man, how God worked, man. And I'm going to tell you one thing that I've learned. The person that's for you could be right in front of you and you might not know it.
Don't even know it.
Might be right in front of you. You know what I mean? The one of the things I've learned from our experience is you got to move past your fear. You got to move past it. Because fear is always the thing that's going to block you from your blessing. We have to know that as people. Fear is always that thing that block you from your blessing. At the root now, it might look like something else. But if you go to the root of that thing, that obstacle, that hurdle, if you go to the root of it, it's fear down there.
Mind you now, fear is almost the thing. Well, really, fear was going to be the thing that was going to keep me away. So please keep in mind in everything that you do, not just in relationships, that fear is definitely a blockage. Yeah. Do not let fear get in that way, man, because I promise you, I almost missed out and I would have been messed up out here.
Me too.
He would have still been a friend, but he wouldn't have been my forever friend, if you get what I'm saying. My life partner. He would not have been that. We
wouldn't have achieved a lot of what we didn't achieve.
True.
Like we've done a lot and achieved. We didn't, man, in the short time we've been together, because this is the 6th year. June 15th will be 6 years. Within that first 3 years, man, we went through so much together. Because first of all, when me and my brother Arvon got the house on Whitney, I ended up losing my job behind some racist ass white dude telling lies and shit and just doing extra shit. And he just didn't like the black people that worked in his department. So he would like try to like spread rumors and lies and shit to get folks in trouble. And I was just one of the people he did, and when I ended up getting fired. So, Wiz, that's cool. Fuck Thresh. But anyway, so when that happened, and the crazy thing is that had to happen because her mama ended up having a surgery and needed help. Also, Kaya had got a job at Lowe's, so Kaya couldn't be home with her mama the whole time. I had just lost my job, and me and my oldest brother had conflict because of recording issues. Like he didn't really rock with me recording and stuff. It was bothering him that me and my partners was coming through and recording and stuff, which was kind of weird to me because he made music and made beats and stuff, and our mama used to trip when he made beats at home, but it be like that sometimes. It ain't no, it is what it is. And I realized he had to do that, and she had to get her job, and I had to lose my job in order for me to be able to be there for her mama. So what ended up happening is I ended up just staying over at their house just so I could like round the clock be there for her mama. I wasn't moving out or even intending to move in, but I ended up having to be there for a few months to help her mama. that ended up being I lived there. And that was not no shit that was planned. Like nobody planned that. That wasn't no shit that I wanted. Me personally, as a man, you don't want to live with your girlfriend, mama. That was not cool with me. But I realized I was called to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And the thing about it, when God call you, God gonna call you in a humble manner. God ain't gonna call you for you to just be, oh, I'm everything in the world should praise me and kneel and bow to me. Like I had to humble myself and do some shit that I really wasn't cool with doing so I could do what God needed me to do at that time. You know what I mean? And I know people judged and talked shit about me about that and felt certain ways about me because I was living with my girlfriend and her mama, but you don't always know what God is doing. So a lot of times it's just best to shut the fuck up and not judge people. You know what I mean? But that's cool.
That part.
Really. But
Ain't your business.
But yeah, man, we just went through a lot, man. Like we done been through a lot as a couple, you know what I mean? But everything we done went through, I see and notice and recognize God got us covered. And as long as we stay connected and don't turn against each other, shit always work out. So to fast forward, we get the place that we're currently living in now. You know what I mean? We move out of her mama's spot because I wasn't there long. I got there 2015. And we left in 2016. 2016. So I was there about a year, a little over a year, maybe.
To be honest, probably wasn't even that long.
Maybe it was somewhere no more than
a year.
Yeah, no more than a year.
We'll just keep it at that.
No more than a year, and it's crazy because I was sent there because y'all needed my help in more ways than just the surgery. Like it's just crazy how stuff work out, man. Like. Because y'all needed me and I needed y'all. So it's crazy because me being there, since I was having issues with my brother about recording, I was able to record at y'all house while y'all was at work. Mm-hmm. I got a lot of the album done at y'all house and at Sherrod house. Shout out to Sherrod, man, for talking to your grandparents and allowing them talking them into allowing me and us to record in they shed in the back, bro. Mm-hmm. Like man. At that time in my life, I saw God. I always see God, but I really saw God then. I saw God move so many pieces, man, to make shit work. I saw God remove people and pluck people that weren't meant to stay the whole ride. I just saw God, man. And the faith that I was losing in 2013, I started getting back 10 times more because I started seeing God and what God was doing and how God was using what I was going through and what she was going through and what her mama was going through to ultimately help everybody. So please know and understand, y'all, all bad things happen for the greater good. So technically, nothing is bad. Bad happens for good. It don't happen for no other reason. It happens for good. Now, humans have our flaws, but bad happens for good. Please know that everything bad happening in your life right now is gonna be good for you later at some point. You just can't see it yet because you ain't got to the end of the movie yet. But anyway.
I always look for God in every situation.
Yeah, God is in everything. Every situation you in, just know God in there now. Know God is there. Know God is controlling it and moving it and shifting it. Know God already put provisions in place for you. Just know and trust that you are gonna make it through because that ain't the first thing you done been through. And just know that just like God got you through everything else, God gonna get you through that too. I know it sound cliche or whatever, but the shit all facts. But anyway, so we moved here. And as we moved here, I finished up L.A.M.E here. And we ended up, after doing L.A.M E, we ended up doing another project. It was a Joe Henson project, but I featured her on everything because I'm just the type of person, and this is actually what helped connect me with her friend Lila too. When I did this project called Food for Thought while we was in the Freedom Fighters, I had Lila up and down that project because I just thought she was a dope singer. And I be trying to get people exposure. Like if I know you ain't putting out projects and doing shit like that, but I feel like you got a dope voice or you're a dope producer or whatever, I try to like use the platform I have and the fact that I am releasing stuff to get you exposure. So I was putting together this project called Dear Organized Noise, the South Got Something to Say. And in 2015, the tail end of 2015, because we moved here in March, I ended up
Ironically enough.
yeah. I ended really though. I ended up putting her on every song because she got an amazing voice, man. I just wanted the world to hear that. You know what I mean? Plus two, everything she get on, she make it better. So it was a win-win for everybody in my mind. But when we did that project though, we really started realizing like how good we sound together, like how good our voices like mesh together, like they intertwine so good. Cause she's a great singer and I am not a singer. I can't sing all that good. I can carry a note, certain notes definitely, and I know my pocket. I know what I can and can't do with my voice, and my voice is maturing and growing still as an artist and creatively. But when you put my voice and her voice together and you get both of them flames together, it just fire. It just fire, and I don't know no other way to say that. So we realized that, damn, man, you know, we got hella chemistry, not even just creatively, but just sonically. And we ended up forming the group that you all know now as Blight Love. And we about to release our first project. So
I'm so
excited. We ain't gonna give no details right now, but just know that this summer we releasing our first project. It's not an album. It's not an album. It is not an album. We already know what the album gonna be. It's coming, but we realize what I wish all black people realize. You know what I mean? United we stand, divided we fall. And me and her, we butt heads. I mean, they're my soulmate, but that don't mean this shit easy. It actually makes it harder because everything is more intense because we so deeply intertwined and connected. The soul ties is very real, and sometimes when them souls tie, the knot so damn tight. Yeah. The knot so fucking tight you can't loosen it. And sometimes that knot so tight it cut off circulation. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. But the thing about it is it's uncomfortable because we're expanding each other. We're expanding each other understanding. We're expanding each other emotionally, spiritually. We're expanding each other and we're growing to be greater than we would have been if we never connected. Because we challenge each other. We push each other to the edges of who we are. You know what I mean? Whether intentionally or unintentionally. So I hope y'all enjoyed this episode, man. We're going to wrap this up because we really could keep going, to be really real. Like, we could be talking for 7 hours about this one topic. It's because it's so fucking in-depth the way God put all this together. But we love y'all, man. Love yourself and love everybody else. And hopefully you see yourself in this, and if not, hopefully this give you a little more hope on love, man, because let me tell you, she went through a lot of shit with dudes that she was dealing with, and I went through a lot of shit with women I was dealing with, so much so on my end to the point where I almost was just like, I'm done, dog. I tap out. My heart got too much mileage on it. You know what I mean?
I was celibate before I met him.
Yeah, and I broke that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But sometimes you have to do that, you know. Yeah. You have to pull back.
Yeah, man. And I had been celibate for 2 years before. I went about 2008. About 2006. 2006 to 2008, I was celibate for 2 years, my damn self. Like, just no sex, and I ain't get no phone. I ain't get no phone numbers. I didn't really even deal with females like that because I knew if I had a woman that close to me that I was attracted to, that I probably wouldn't have stayed celibate. So I had to completely disconnect myself. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I think everybody should do that at one point in time.
At one point in time.
At some point in time in your life, you should completely disconnect from whatever your sexual preference is and just really dive into you. Don't have sex. Don't flirt and do all this other shit. Don't give your energy. Just focus on you. I think me doing that and her doing that is a big part of what helps us be able to work now. You know what I mean? Because you learn a lot, man. I can't explain in depth how all that shit work. Plus, it worked different for everybody. But that's important to take that time for you. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we get a little codependent. Sometimes we get to the point where we just become too reliant on having somebody else with us or there for us or somebody giving us their attention. But you got to give you that attention. You know what I mean? So y'all continue to love people, man. Be a good representation of love. Be a good representation of God. Spread black love and spread black love, man. Every day, realize that everybody you see as your brother and your sister, man. We are a family, y'all. And we going to do this every Sunday, man. Every Sunday, we're going to drop an episode at 3. We thank y'all for watching the very first official episode of Lame Shit Different Day.
No,
and make sure y'all follow us on social media at LSDD Podcast with a K. You did what I'm saying? I am your host, Joe Henson.
I'm Prolly.
We are Blight Love. And y'all remember to keep spreading Blight Love, man. And ain't nothing cooler than being lame. We love y'all. Peace. I was planting it on this planet.
I was planting on this planet.
From a seed like a tree.
From a seed like a tree.
You can see it in my roots.
You can see it in my roots.
I got melanin in me.
I got melanin in me.
Juneteenth every day.